Hey everyone, Mark Zoll here. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you all for your kind comments over this last week. You'll see in a minute what sort of week I've had. It hasn't been the best one, but all your messages of support on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, it's been amazing. So thank you all very much for that. Another reminder just to hit the subscribe button if you want to see all my videos. Got quite a few videos up now. And if you like this video at any point, just hit that like button as well. And keep on leaving comments down below for me, and I'll answer any questions you've got. So now I've got that out of the way, let me go through the tough week that I've had. So I was called into hospital because my creatinine had gone up, and I recorded as much for you as I could at the hospital. It wasn't a very good week, so hopefully you can learn something from the video. And let me show you what happened.
Hey guys, bad news, I'm back in hospital. So I had my regular outpatients clinic checkup today, and my my creatinine had gone back up to 155. So it shouldn't be that high, it should be between 80 and 100, and we don't know why it's gone up to 155. So if you saw my other videos, you would have seen that on Christmas Eve my creatinine went up to 165 and they had to bring me back in, but luckily it fell back to 149 the next day, so I was able to go home. But my creatinine has been at 140 now since Christmas, which has been too high since Christmas, and as a result my doctor said that they need to do a biopsy now. So they need to do a biopsy to look inside the kidney to check if there's anything that they can see that's causing my creatinine to go high, because nothing else seems to be, there doesn't seem to be any other reason. I'm drinking more than 4.5 litres a day, I'm passing urine fine, I'm not feeling too tired, and my levels for all my medications seems fine as well. So it's a bit of a conundrum at the moment. We don't really know why. So the best thing to do is to have a biopsy. So I've had these biopsies before. I had them when I had my lupus in my other kidneys, but this time it's going to be slightly different because they're performing a biopsy on my transplanted kidney, which is at the front near my stomach now. So it's a slightly different procedure. I'm not quite sure exactly how it works. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to record some stuff for you guys, but I'm not going to make any promises. So yes, so at least another night in hospital. It is frustrating. It's very frustrating, but I need to keep going. Hopefully the numbers will be back to normal by tomorrow, and hopefully the results from the biopsy should be okay as well. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow, fill you in with what's going on, and I'll see you in the morning.
So I'm just going to be jumping in and out of these videos just to explain to you in a bit more detail what was going on at certain parts of the week. So after I tried to get to sleep that night, the doctor came to see me and he wanted to put a cannula inside my arm. So a cannula is basically a needle, a plastic needle that sits in your veins for the majority of your stay at hospital. They are very important. They use them for quite a lot of things. So they use them to give you some liquid drugs, any water that you may need if you're dehydrated. But the main reason that you have them whilst you stay in hospital is because if anything goes wrong, they have instant access to your veins to give you anything that you need to make you better. So you always get a cannula put in whenever you're staying the night at hospital, and that was no different for my stay as well. So how they do it, so as you can see in the video, the first thing the doctor does is they wrap your arm in a sling sort of thing, just so that your blood can be pumped through at higher pressure and makes your veins pop out a bit more, easier for them to see. And then this particular doctor, I asked him to put it in my forearm, so you can get them in different places. I want it in my forearm just so that it's nice and comfortable, and then he wanted to check that the vein was nice and straight before he started. So then as he takes out his cannula, you might not be able to see it properly, but it's a metal needle surrounded by a plastic needle. So they need the metal needle initially just to pierce your skin and push it into your vein, and then as it goes far enough in and then you start to see the blood come out of the tube, he ends up pulling out the metal needle and the plastic needle stays in your veins for you. So there's no metal in you at all. It's all flexible. So if you do somehow manage to knock it on something or move it around in a different way, it doesn't hurt at all because it's all completely flexible. And then it sits in your veins, and then the one that I had has two little ports on it, so you can have two drugs coming into you at the same time. And that's about it really. I'm quite used to them going in now. I've had quite a few over the years, so they don't hurt that much, but they can be quite painful for people, especially with people that don't have good enough veins. My veins, quite luckily, they're quite big, and they pop out quite a lot, so the blood doctors don't mind taking my blood from me. But for some of you out there, it may hurt a bit more, but like I said, it is essential to your stay in hospital because it's very important that if something goes wrong, they can have access to your veins and give you the drugs that you need to make yourself better. And then this is what it looks like at the end once they've wrapped it all up, put the dressing all on it, and they normally tag it with a date when it needs to be changed, just in case it gets dirty, and they write the date that they put it on as well, and then they just tape it around you just so it's not flapping around either. So I've actually still got mine on because when I go back to hospital tomorrow, they need to still give me some fluid drugs, so it was just easier for them to leave it in rather than take this one out and then give me a new one tomorrow, which is what I didn't want to do. So yeah, very, very important that your cannula is in whilst you stay at hospital.
Good morning, everyone. You joined me for breakfast. There we go. Got cornflakes and Rice Krispies today. Not much choice, to be honest. So, didn't have a really good sleep. I don't normally sleep that well unless I'm in my own bed, to be honest. And then being at hospital, they want to monitor you so close. They wake you up every 2 or 3 hours to do something else to you. So you finally fall asleep, and then you have to wake up for your blood pressure, then you have to wake up for a blood test, and then you have to wake up for your next blood pressure reading. And in the end, what happens is you just end up having quick, short little naps, and then they then put the lights on at 7:15, and that's it. You're awake in the morning. So hopefully I can get some sleep in the day. Doctors haven't been around yet, but hopefully they'll let me know what time the biopsy is going to be, and then the quicker the biopsy is, the quicker we get some results. So you'll initially get some results a couple of hours after the biopsy, and then there are some important results that take about a day or two to come through. But if the initial results from the biopsy are good enough, then they can send you home, and then you can come back into clinic to get the rest of the results, the more important ones. So hopefully the initial results are better. So I'll try and record some from my biopsy. I'm going to ask the doctor today, and we'll see what he says. So I'm going to have my breakfast, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
So after my breakfast, which I finished around 9 o'clock, they started the biopsy around 12 o'clock, midday. So I just wanted to explain to you what exactly a biopsy is. Some of you may have not heard about it before, haven't remembered what it is in the past. So a biopsy is a very simple procedure where they take a tiny slither of your kidney, just so that they can analyze it under a microscope, and then they can see exactly what's going on inside your kidney tissue. So it's a very, very accurate way of seeing what issues there are happening inside your kidneys, which is why they've resorted to doing a biopsy for me, because my blood results and everything else isn't telling them the answer they want. So that's why they hoped that an answer would become from a biopsy. So I've had a biopsy before on my other kidneys, but now that I've got a transplanted kidney, it's in a different place. So this is happening at the front of my body now, whereas usually you lie on your belly and then it happens behind you and you can't really see what's going on. So for this one, I saw everything that was going on. So you can choose whether you have the sleeping drug or no sleeping drug at all. I've had the sleeping drug in the past, but what I found is I'm not very it doesn't last very long inside me, so I end up waking up halfway through the procedure anyway. So for this one, I just asked for no drugs and just the local anesthetic to numb the pain. So the doctor will start off with an ultrasound scan. So he just scans the kidney, especially with a transplanted kidney. It's quite tricky because they're not going to be in exactly the same place as everyone else's transplanted kidney. So they have to ultrasound scan it so they know exactly where they're going. And then the doctor found the point that he wanted to go in. So then what he did, he had the local anesthetic needle, and he was just injecting me in loads of different places just to numb the skin and numb the kidney tissue as best as he could. Because when they end up taking the piece of the kidney out, if that is not numb, it's going to hurt a lot. So after they've numbed the entire area, what happens next is they have this really long needle. I'll try and find a picture of it for you. I didn't manage to take a picture from the hospital, but it's basically the biopsy needle, and it's spring loaded. So you just press the button on top, and then the needle shoots through your skin into your kidney, and it shoots straight back out. But in the process of doing that, it takes a tiny slither of the kidney with it. And in this particular case, I had 2 samples taken, but it could be a number of different samples. So the doctor did it to me twice, and it sounds almost like it's hard to explain. It almost sounds like a gun going off, because it's a real spring-loaded needle, and it shoots in and shoots out very, very quickly. But because of the local anaesthetic that the doctors applied, it doesn't hurt at all. You feel it pushing, and you feel it happening, but there's no real pain. It's just an odd sensation. So that's what I had happen. I had 2 samples taken. I'll show you the picture now. It looks like this. So like there's like tiny slithers of your kidney, and then they can take it away to analyze it and hopefully get an answer as to what issues there are going on in your kidney. So after taking that, very simply they just wash the area, put a dressing on it, and you end up with a tiny hole that ends up scabbing over. Then you recover from it. So I wasn't in any pain at all. Wasn't any pain afterwards either, but I took some paracetamol just in case. So that was my biopsy procedure.
Right, the day's done, biopsy done, results are in, and I'm still in hospital. So I'm going to have to spend a few more nights here. They said about 3 more nights, because what they found in the results of the biopsy was that it was showing signs of rejection. So the dreaded R word, rejection. It's only showing signs of rejection. And the reason that it's showing signs of rejection is that when I was diagnosed with lupus 10 years ago now, they used a really powerful drug to stop the lupus spreading further across and destroying my kidneys. The drug's called cyclophosphamide. And then because I've had cyclophosphamide in the past, the standard immune suppressant drug they would give a kidney transplant patient, they weren't allowed to give it to me because it would have been too much for my system to handle. So they gave me the alternative drug that still dampens your immune system, but it's just not as powerful as the one that they would normally use. And then because of this, my immune system is still, in fact, a bit too strong, and it's trying to still fight off the new kidney. So they're dampening my immune system, and my levels look fine, but my immune system is still strong enough to realize that there's a new kidney, and it's trying to fight it because it shouldn't be there. So the solution is to have some steroids. So I was on steroids for a week after my transplant for the exact same reason, to dampen my immune system. Prednisolone steroids, they're called. But this time they gave me it via an IV fluid drip. So I'm going to have 3 of those, 1 each day. The reason it's been done in a drip is so that it gets into your system quicker and it can affect you a bit better. So hopefully with the steroids, my immune system can be dampened further, and it will stop showing the signs of rejection that my kidney is already showing. So that's the plan moving forwards. It is what it is. You know, I'm not one of those patients who want to run home at the first sight. I don't really mind staying in hospital as long as I know I'm getting better, which in this case I know I will be, because in the past I've had these biopsies for my kidneys and they don't normally give you a definitive answer. It's just, oh, we couldn't really find what was wrong, or we didn't really tell. But I'm really happy today with the fact that they actually knew what was wrong. They could see it from the results and they thought, right, we've got a plan to fix it. So I'm really positive about that. I'm sure it will work. I've had steroids in the past before, like I said, and it did work. So I don't normally like the side effects of steroids, but right now I can't really choose otherwise. So 3 more nights, hopefully be home by Monday or Tuesday. And yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. Hopefully I can get a bit more sleep tonight than I did last night, because they shouldn't be prodding me all night trying to take bloods, but we'll see. So if you know someone, or if you are the person that's also going through the same process of kidney transplants and looking after yourself afterwards, just remember that this is normal. It's completely fine. My doctors have told me that they've expected this, and it happens to lots and lots of people. It's not anything to be too concerned about, but just you need to keep reminding yourself, and this is what I'm trying to do, is that you've gone through a major operation. It's so big, and it's almost impossible to expect your body just to adjust to everything that's gone on and run as normal. So just keep reminding yourself that you need to rest, you need to look after yourself, and things will always get better, because that's what the doctors are here doing. And as long as they explain things to you and you understand what's going on, there's nothing for you to worry about. So if there are signs of rejection, there are ways of stopping the rejection from happening. So those are the steps that you're going to have to take. So look after yourselves and stay strong, just as I'm trying to do myself. So I'm going to try and turn the lights off now, get some sleep, and I'll try and fill you guys in tomorrow, but there's not much happening tomorrow, so we'll see what's going on. So have a good night, guys. Okay, so it's now Saturday afternoon, 1:15. I've been told a little bit of good news. I get to go home. So it's not all good news. My creatinine's jumped up to 169 though, but the whole reason that I'm allowed to go home is that I only need some Iv'e steroids once a day. So there's no point me staying in hospital when I've already had them. So they said I can go home for the rest of the day, and have to come back in tomorrow morning to have my third set of steroid Iv'e fluids. So hopefully after the final drip and then some of the prednisolone tablets that I then need to take afterwards, my creatinine should go back down. So that's the plan. I'll try and get this video edited, but I'm not sure how much energy I've got, and I've had a headache since 5 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going to see what I can do when I get home.
So here I am back home, showered, in bed, just going to relax now. Like I just said, I have had a headache since 5 a.m. in the morning. So I was woken up at 5 a.m. for a blood pressure check and a temperature check, and since then I've been awake with a headache, and it's really, really annoying. But those are the side effects of the steroids, because they are really powerful drugs, and I've been taking two paracetamol every 4 hours and it just hasn't gone. Luckily, when I came home, I did have my shower and it did feel a bit better, so maybe it's just a case of being home and feeling better, so hopefully that'll go soon. So yeah, it has been an interesting day. Interesting few days. I'm glad that I'm home earlier than they originally told me. They did say that I'd get home on Monday, but I am going to have to go in tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning just for some more steroids, and I'm going to have to go in at 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday for another checkup and some more steroids. But I'd rather be doing that than spending nights in hospital, because I can't sleep while I'm in hospital. So hopefully a bit more rest at home, and I'll wake up feeling a bit better as well. So thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. That's the whole point. I make these videos. I don't just make them just so I can rant about being in a hospital. I do hope sincerely that you learn something from them. And like I said, if you've got any questions, maybe something I haven't mentioned or something that I didn't explain well enough, then you can put them down below and I'll answer them for you as well. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the rest of my videos. Hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.